We are exactly an hour and 20 minutes away from kick-off as West Ham United take the trip to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to kick-start the Premier League once again after a tedious international break. Julian Lopetegui will be looking to kick-start the Hammers season after a changeable stop-start beginning to our campaign. But that win against Ipswich, convincing 4-1 victory last time out, should give his side a bit of confidence as we take the trip to a stadium where something always happens, doesn't it? It's never a dull game. Now, I've said that it'll probably be 0-0, but with our defence, probably not in the same sentence. Looking forward to this. Apprehensive to an extent, if I'm totally honest. This could go one of two ways. You know, Spurs could really turn it on and we're not quite ready for it, and we could get battered, or we could frustrate them and we could really get them on the back foot and try and do them on the counter attack. I'm not full with confidence, but I am not full with pessimism either. I am in a sort of middle ground of apprehension currently, hoping that this lineup that we're going to receive in less than 4 minutes' time inspires me to predict a West Ham win. A warm welcome to all of you joining me live this morning. I thought I very rarely do a show in the morning, so this is different. Of course, we're on the 12:30 kickoff to get the Premier League back underway a little bit different to normal. So I am looking forward to this today, and hoping, just really hoping that we can turn up and put in a good performance. Budgie, hope you're well. Thanks for joining us. Morning, Jake. We need a positive start today. We need to start well, as in not let Spurs dictate everything, if that makes sense. We really need to try and make them aware pretty early on that, you know, there's two teams in this game, and we're there for the fight, and let's make it a derby. I don't mind if I see a couple of crunching tackles, though. That's what it's all about. This is a London derby. You know, we've had this conversation so many times. Millwall aren't in the Premier League. This is our derby. This is the big game. You know, we can all accept that. We can all admit that. We really need to turn up today. There's 3,000 expecting West Ham fans that are going to be in that away end today, hoping to see an excellent performance and hoping to see the team turn up on Derby Day, because that's what we want. That's what we need. Tottenham, they've been bizarre, haven't they, so far this season? They haven't really settled down, similar to us. If I'm totally honest, they haven't settled down in any way, shape or form. As well as, they've got through in the cup, they've been ahead and they've lost games. So anything can happen with Tottenham. You know, they were leading against Brighton, they were leading against Leicester, and they lost both games. So they've had some tricky moments, but they've also played some scintillating football along the way as well. Up at Old Trafford, they completely blew Manchester United away, which isn't too hard to do nowadays. I accept that, but they've still played some really good football amongst some pretty bad game management in there as well. So we need to acknowledge that, and they'll be looking for a response, because they've had to dwell and sit on a second half calamity at the Amex, where they were 2-0 up and lost 3-2. So the fans will be expecting a response. There's going to be expectation from both sets of fans in that toilet today. I can't say that with a straight face, sorry. But yeah, Dad's there. I'm not. Dad is in the pub in Liverpool Street. He's took the ticket. I've got the ticket for Forest away in a couple of weeks. So that's the deal that we've done. So I'm sat here speaking to you lovely people, of course. What's not to love? I would prefer to be in a pub in Liverpool Street right now, but you know, that's life, isn't it? Budgie says an early Spurs goal could completely ruin us, but if we can keep the early assault at bay, we should grow into the game. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's absolutely right. I'd agree 100% with that, and we need to get into the game early. Couple of crunching tackles, get that away end going. You know, let's have some passion, and that all starts from the starting lineup, which I'm expecting in less than 60 seconds time. So I'm just gonna head on to the old Twitter page and get ready to bring that to you as and when it is released. There's been a couple of murmurings about who's going to start. I'm hoping really to see Somerville. I'm not expecting it, but I'm hoping to see Somerville in that starting lineup. I think he's warranted that after his performances so far this season. But here we go. It is 11:15, which means just one thing: the starting lineup is here, and Somerville does not start, of course. Right, here we go then. So your West Ham starting lineup today is coming up on the screen very shortly. I should have been a bit more prepared and done this before, but you know, live life on the edge, don't we? Here we go then. Your starting lineup this afternoon, or this morning really, starts with Areola in goal, a back four of Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, I got ahead of myself there. Areola, Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Kilman, Emerson. A midfield three of Rodriguez, Souček and Paqueta. A front three of Kudus, Bowen, Antonio. So there's no Alvarez in there. Wow. He's really not liking Alvarez currently, is he? Let's have a look at the bench. Has he made the bench? He has made the bench. Fabianski, Krezos, Soler, Soufal, Somerville, Mavropanos, Guilherme makes the bench. Ings, Alvarez, no Andy Irving on the bench. The notable absentee there. I don't like it. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't. I'd have Alvarez in there. I'd have Soler in there, and I'd have Somerville in there. I'd make 3 changes to that if I was in charge. I'm not a huge fan of it, to be totally honest. That doesn't inspire me in any way, shape or form. I guess it was similar to what we saw against Ipswich, but then again, Ipswich were really bad, weren't they? If we're being totally frank about it. Hopefully now we've got a settled back line. Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Kilman, Emerson. I like that. The midfield, it's an ongoing issue. There's nothing settled about our midfield. Rodriguez, Souček, Paqueta. Is Paqueta in the right frame of mind currently with all of the betting allegations and murmurings going on surrounding that? He released a statement a couple of days ago. He's obviously disgruntled with the issue. Is Paqueta firstly in the right headspace to be playing this derby? I don't want him losing his head and getting himself sent off. Souček is Souček. He's going to not do too much. He's going to pop up and maybe score, which is lovely. But apart from that, he doesn't add or benefit too much to our ball playing midfield. And Rodriguez is the one that's going to sit. So it was either Rodriguez or Alvarez to sit. He could have played both and gone really defensive, but no, we're going to be pushed forward a little bit more, which I like that element of it. I'd have gone for Alvarez instead of Rodriguez and probably Soler instead of either Souček or Paqueta. I haven't quite worked that one out. And then maybe even we could have dropped Kudus down into the number 10 role, which he likes, and then chuck Somerville out on the right. What has Somerville seriously done wrong to sit on the bench? It is horrendous, isn't it, really? But yeah, Ings is there, Guilherme's there. Of course, I will do Budgie. Thank you very much. Indeed, she's gone as well. Well, no, she hasn't gone to the football. She's out, so I'm here on my own, right? On my own, honestly. Can't get the staff nowadays, can we? But yeah, there it is. There is your West Ham starting lineup. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's realistically deep down internally what I expected it to be. But there we go. We'll get some thoughts on that in just a second. Whilst we do that, let's have a little look at the Tottenham lineup and see what the hosts look like today. And Heung-min Son returns for Tottenham after his injury, which is just fantastic, isn't it? Just absolutely fantastic. I've shut this down, so that is my fault. I have to load it back up. Silly me. And here is the Tottenham lineup. Heung-min Son returns. It is Vicario, Pedro Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, and Udogie is the back four. It's Basuma, Maddison, Kulusevski is the front three. It's the midfield three. And then Johnson on one side, Son on the other, and Solanke down the middle as your Tottenham front three. Not bad, is it? Not bad. Being totally honest, it's a settled, solid back line. The midfield has got class players. The front three has got class players. Look, they're a good team. We know that. We are well aware of the quality that Spurs possess. We need to try and get at them. You know, they've been dodgy a little bit in midfield. So have we. So that's going to be fun, isn't it? Whoever wins the midfield battle today will win the game. I think that's pretty fair to assume that we need to be dominant and assertive and forceful in midfield, and that's got to start with Rodriguez getting us up the pitch, and then Paqueta has got to be an outlet. He's got to help out, and we've got to nullify the likes of Kulusevski and Maddison, who have been real integral parts to Tottenham's success so far this season. Stop that transition on where they're really quick, and we need to not be so narrow. We can't defend like a narrow boat today. Solanke down the middle is going to be receiving the balls from Johnson and Son out wide. They're going to give Wan-Bissaka and Emerson a nightmare afternoon if we're not careful. We need to nullify threat. We need to have a clear plan. They're very good players. They've got their Son and Johnson are really good outlets. And we need to nullify it. That's what we've got to do. We've got to try and get at Romero, who's been a little bit unpredictable so far this season. Well, he is unpredictable, isn't he? Van der Ven, no one's going to beat him for pace. Let's see how long it takes the commentators to mention Van der Ven's pace today. And at the end of the day, we've just got to try and back ourselves and back our quality and try and get ahead in the game early on. Right, let's take some comments. Let's get rid of that Spurs lineup. Miss Hamrat, morning, Jake. Sorry I'm so late joining plus. Haven't been around for quite a bit. No worries, it'll be good. I'm not too bad. Thanks very much for joining us. Yeah, Miss Hamrat is our moderator today. Dad and Mum have left me, so Miss Hamrat, it's down to you. Drop a like, no worries. Thank you very much indeed for that. City, someone says, nice to hear ex-West Ham Stuart Pearce saying 3-2 to Spurs. That's positive, isn't it? Honestly, one thing, if you want to have a laugh this afternoon, play bingo with me, right? Let's do Van de Ven pace bingo. Oh, somebody's on. What the hell's going on? Someone's banging something. Anyway, Van de Ven pace bingo, right? What minute will it take for the commentators to mention Van de Ven's pace? I'm going to go the 6th minute. Let me know your bingo answer in the chat. But no, in all seriousness, someone is banging the head out of something. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it's distracting me. But look, those lineups don't inspire me too much. I'm totally honest. It makes me a little bit more nervous. TC's today, he's just put on Twitter, he's on the way to the Tottenham game. Things we love to see in that sense. Look, I don't mind it. It's not horrendous, that lineup. You know, I don't look at it and spark outrage, but I'd have preferred Somerville and Alvarez in there. That's just my preference. That's what I want. And at the end of the day, I'm not in charge. They're currently selling Tottenham West Ham half and half scarves, souvenir matchday scarf at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That is embarrassing. Who on earth would want to buy that? People must buy them, otherwise they wouldn't make them. But anyway, yeah, before the game starts, Stuart Pearce, 3-2 Spurs. Lovely. Cheers, Piercy. Thanks for that, mate. Greatly appreciated. But no, just hoping we start well today. That's the fundamental and pivotal thing that's got to happen today. We've got to start well. We've got to put Tottenham on the back foot, show them that they've got to fight for this, that this is a derby. Try and get a goal up, however, in whatever means we can, and frustrate the hell out of them. We can't sit back completely because we're not good enough defensively with their attack, but we've got to have a bit of balance in there. We've got to do the fundamentals right. We can't mess around with it at the back too much because they're going to press high. They're going to try and press like wolves and pack, not wolves the team as in wolves the animal. They're going to press in packs and they're going to try and put us under pressure from minute one. We've got to be ready for that. We've got to be alert and we've got to be zip the ball around well, not give away loose passes, don't give it away easy, keep hold of the ball and protect it, and try and get it to the likes of Kudus and Bowen. There are outlets. Kudus, Paqueta, Bowen. There are outlets. Get Antonio running at Romero. Get them in a physical battle with him, because he could cause problems. Antonio loves a goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He scored the first goal as an away side at their Hull, right? So let's try and replicate that again today. Let's try and get the ball to Antonio and give him something. And Kudus as well. Give him the ball, let him run with it. He may lose it, but he's going to make more than he's going to lose, Kudus. Let's just agree on that to start with. We've got to get the ball to the attacking players. We've got to be solid in midfield. And we've got to be quick zipping it around defensively. Otherwise, they're going to make us pay. Miss Hammerat, we 100% have to not give them any respect. Go at them. Couple of early tackles. It's a derby. Let's make it a derby. We've not, Chelsea a couple of weeks ago, flipping embarrassing, right? That was no derby. That was the easiest game they'll have all season. Let's make it a derby. Let's really make them work for it, because they're a side that can fold under pressure. That has been evident all season, right? As I said earlier, they were 1-0 up to Leicester, lost 2-1. They were 2-0 up to Brighton, lost 3-2. If you apply pressure, they fold like a cardboard box. So that's all we've got to do. We've got to put ourselves into the position and give ourselves the opportunity to try and make them pay. And boy, wouldn't it be nice to go there and win again. Tottenham Hotspur, it's happened again. It would be gorgeous. Absolutely confirmation of the starting lineup there from Troy. Thank you very much indeed for that. I'm going to go on Twitter and have a little gauge of what people are saying about that team lineup and in general about the game. But yeah, I'm just hoping that we can have a really good go. Somerville, that's my main and most prominent issue, if I'm totally honest. But we've just got to try and nullify their threat. All the West Ham fans are now on the train, on the way to the ground with their police escort. That's what I've been reliably informed by my father, that is on the train. He is on the train, on the way there. So that is good. Antonio, 14-1 first goal. I mean, if I legally could do that, I would. So yeah, I think that's, chuck a couple of quid on that. 14-1 first goal. He loves a goal against them lot, or even any time. That is a decent one as well. To hear is to obey. Antonio, I mean, that's a good point. Antonio, has he been international breaking with Jamaica? Does that mean he's been halfway around the world twice? That means the whole way around the world. So there might be a bit of fatigue there. So if Antonio's blowing on 65 minutes, take him off, put Ings on. Give ourselves an outlet up front. Give Ings a go. Chuck Somerville on. He's got to be proactive, not reactive today, because this game could be in our hands. We're going to have a spell at some point we are gonna have a spell. I spoke about this with Sean the other night on our opposition preview. Is that Spurs may dominate the first half, may go a goal up or whatever, but at some point, I reckon in the second half, about the hour mark, when we get some of it on, when we can try and get into the game a little bit more, we will have a 10-15 minute spell where we get on top. That's happened in most games this season. We've played in spells, not in a whole 90 minutes. There hasn't been one entire 90-minute performance yet. We've played in little spells. So if we can get ourselves into one of those little spells of attacking intent, get the ball to the wide, skillful attacking players, cause them problems, and that's where we're going to gain our success today. But we've got to be clinical when we get it there. He played 84 minutes the other night. So look, he's going to be not as fit as probably desired of Antonio. So we've got to be alert to that as well. Badgie says, I've got a 5 on a 2-0 win. Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, indeed. I just hope we don't fold like a cardboard box early today, if I'm totally honest. I hope we don't end up 2 or 3 down inside 20 minutes and don't sort of wake up to the threat that Tottenham can bring if they're, on it early on in the game. Let's settle in well. Let's not let them settle. Let's try and get into the game, get on the ball early, get the foot on the ball and get everybody involved and gain a bit of confidence and then try and go and affect the scoring. But look, it's going to be good today. It's going to give us a real good indication of where we are at, where Lopetegui's at and where he's at with his team lineup, whether he knows his best team yet. Today is going to be a really good indication of how we are going to do. Just had a message from Sean. I asked him to come on, but he unfortunately couldn't join us. He's messaged me saying, in terms of Spurs, strong side, strong bench. Had a feeling Bissouma would come in. Bissouma's a player that's, he's interesting, isn't he, Bissouma? What do we make of Bissouma? Just want to reply to Sean, see what else he says in that sense. But yeah, Bissouma's an interesting one. I'm going to ask Sean, is Bissouma, let's see, this is good content, isn't it? Is Bissouma a bit unpredictable? We'll go with that. Let's see what he says to that. But yeah, look, Sean's happy with his team. I was dreading seeing Son on that starting lineup, and then up he popped straight away onto the graphic. So that didn't help me too much. Let's get all of our predictions into the chat then. What do we reckon for today? Now, a lot of people have predicted draws, which I can get behind them. I'm totally honest. I'd take a point right now if you were to offer it to me. But I'm going to be positive. I'm going to try and get a bit of positivity into this. And I'm going to say, same as last year, Tottenham 1, West Ham 2. I think they'll take the lead in the first half, and I think it'll be 1-0 to Tottenham at the half-time break. But then I've got a feeling we'll come into it in the second half. We'll have one of those spells that I'm on about, and we'll capitalise and hopefully frustrate Spurs to the very end and take home all 3 points. We've got Man United next weekend, so that's going to be another interesting, unpredictable game in terms of what sort of side are going to stand up. But yeah, this fortnight is going to be telling, isn't it? Tottenham away, Man United at home. How have we adapted? Where are we? Where's our progression as a football club and as a team? So yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, and that starts now in just over an hour. A couple of predictions in. Here we go. 3-1 to West Ham. Love that. 2-1 to us. There we go. I got 40-1 on 2-0. Love it. Love the confidence as always. Yeah, look, my final thought is I just hope we don't, bend over like we did against Chelsea the other week, because that was really, really tedious to watch. I was there that day, and it was really bad. It was really bad, letting them dictate the play when we were at home and really letting them just have everything their own way. We can't let that happen today, because if Spurs are on it and they're clinical, then it could be a cricket score. We've got to contest things. We've got to win second balls. We've got to be alert in midfield. And if they're having a bit of a dodgy moment, we've got to capitalise, because they could be really crap Spurs or brilliant, right? And there's very rarely an in-between. They are a very bizarre football team. So we've got to, we've got to acknowledge that, and we've got to try and work that to our advantage and recognise when we're on top, and either add more attacking players to it and try and make us better, or just hope that we can be clinical in the chances that we get. It's really unpredictable because it's 2 unpredictable sides, isn't it? Don't know what West Ham are going to turn up, and you don't know what Tottenham are going to turn up. So that's it from me. That is my build-up show and starting lineup reaction. I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit apprehensive, but also confident and intrigued about what sort of performance West Ham put up today. Live on TNT Sports. Kickoff is at 12:30 in exactly an hour. So that's it from me. Come on, you irons, and I will see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Thanks everybody for your input in the chat this morning. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.